who's ready to get a little spooky. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie, and today I want to talk about a different TBR than like my normal monthly TBR. I am talking about my fall slash spooky season TBR. I look forward to my spooky season so much. I'm looking forward to all the books on my list, and I wanted to share these with you guys and just kind of explain, you know, what these books are, maybe put some books on your TBR, and just kind of share my excitement for them. So before we get into the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also follow me over on Instagram because you can see a lot more updates on a day-to-day basis over there. I thought it would be fun to start this spooky TBR with a reread. Now, this is the only reread on the list. It is one of my favorite books of all time, and I have been saying for years that I wanted to reread this. So I'm going to be talking and hopefully reading Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This will always hands down be my favorite book by Riley Sager. I have ranked Riley Sager's books so many times, and every time Home Before Dark is always top of the list. I always recommend it. I either tell people to read this one if they are new to Riley Sager, or just start in publication order because I love this book so much. So the reason why I wanted to read this book is because it's definitely got like a haunted house vibe. This is about a woman where when she was a small child, her mom and her dad lived in this house, I believe, for like less than 30 days, and creepy things were happening, and they ended up leaving the house, never returning, and her dad ended up writing a book about their experience in the house. And of course it like blew up. It's like a #1 bestseller. It's like one that everyone talks about. Now as an adult, she doesn't remember anything that happened when she was a child, and her dad just recently passed away and left the house to her. So she's going back to the house to kind of spruce it up a little bit and hopefully sell it. But you get chapters of the present where she's an adult, and then you get chapters from the dad's book about what really happened. So the whole time you're like, it's haunted, it's not haunted, it's haunted, it's not haunted. And that is like my favorite thing to read in a spooky haunted house book. So I'm so excited to reread this. I don't want you guys to be alarmed, but I do have a YA thriller on my list. I know. Next book I want to read, I had seen this before but passed it up because it is young adult, but I've been seeing a lot of people talk about it on Instagram and TikTok, and it is That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. This says she thought she had her life back. She was wrong. It was a mistake to trust him. Shivering and bruised, a teen wakes up on the side of the dirt road with no memory of how she got there or who she is. A passing officer takes her to the police station, and not long after, a frantic man arrives. He's been searching for her for hours. He has her school ID, her birth certificate, and even family photos. He is her father. Her name is Mary, or so he says. Then it also says when Lola slammed the car door and stormed off into the night, Drew thought they just needed some time to cool off. Except Lola disappeared, and the sheriff, his friends, and the whole town are convinced Drew murdered his girlfriend. Forget proving his innocence. He needs to find her before it's too late. The longer Lola is missing, the fewer leads there are to follow, and the more danger they are both in. So this sounds really good. I love like a good like memory loss, so definitely spooky. The cover is giving like creepy woods in a way, so I'm very excited to read this one. The next one, actually the publisher sent me the ebook for this one, and I'm actually really excited. I had not heard of this. It sounds super creepy. It's called The Midnight Knock by John Fram. I haven't read anything by this author either. I don't want to read too much about this, but this is a mind-bending locked room thriller about 8 strangers trapped in a remote Texas motel as they race against time to save their lives. So I don't particularly like locked room thrillers. However, this one just sounds really good. It's kind of reminding me of that show or that movie Identity. Super old like psychological thriller, but it's giving me like locked in a motel with like other strangers. So I'm very excited to read this one. This has not been released yet, but it is coming out on October 21st. But again, I have the e-arc for it. The next one on my TBR is We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough. I have read Sarah Pinborough's Behind Her Eyes. I also read Insomnia Did not like Behind Her Eyes, although that twist is pretty good. However, I really liked Insomnia, so I'm excited to give her another try. And this one, again, gives me like haunted house vibes, so I'm very excited to read this one. It seems super short. It's under 300 pages. After an accident that nearly killed her, Emily and her husband Freddie moved from London to a beautiful Dartmoor country house called Larkin Lodge. The house is gorgeous, striking, and to Emily, something about it feels deeply wrong. Old boards creak at night, fires go out, and all of it stems from terrible presence she feels on the third floor bedroom. But these things happen only when Emily's alone, so are they happening at all? She's still medically fragile. Her post-septic condition can cause hallucinatory side effects, which means she can't fully trust her own senses. Freddie doesn't notice anything odd and is happy that they had their chance to start fresh. Emily, however, starts to believe that the house is being haunted by someone who was murdered in it, though she can find no evidence of a wrongful death. A bizarre event piles up and her marriage starts to crumble. Emily becomes obsessed with discovering the truth about Larkin Lodge. But if the house has secrets, so do Emily and her husband, and they live here now. So this just sounds so good. It's gonna be perfect for October. Stay tuned. I forgot to grab one off my bookshelf. Okay, the next one I have is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I've only read one other book by her, but I'm very excited to read this one because I believe this is her adult thriller debut. So I'm very excited to check this one out. Sorry, my camera died. But what I was saying is I'm very excited to read this one because I believe this is Holly Jackson's first adult debut. She wrote The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I've read and really enjoyed. And I'm very excited because my friend Gwen, she has her podcast. It's called Talk Bookish to Me. I've been on several episodes, but this is the podcast's next book discussion. So I definitely want to pick this one up pretty soon, probably maybe for Survive the Night. We'll see. But I really am excited to read this one. In 7 days, Jet Mason will be dead. Jet is the daughter of one of the wealthiest families in Woodstock, Vermont. 27 years old and back living with her parents, she's still waiting for her life to begin. I'll do it later, she always says. She has time. Until Halloween night when she is violently attacked by an unseen intruder, suffering a catastrophic head injury. Doctors are certain that within a week, the injury will trigger a deadly aneurysm. Jet never thought to herself as having enemies, but now she looks at everyone in a new light. Her family, her former best friend turned sister-in-law, her ex-boyfriend. She has 7 days, and as her condition deteriorates, she has only her childhood friend Billy for help. But nevertheless, she's absolutely determined to finally finish something. Jet is going to solve her own murder. So I love the cover. I need to take some of the stickers off, but I also love like the end papers, and also the front cover is really gorgeous because it's 7 days. So I'm super excited to read this one, and the fact that she gets attacked on Halloween, spooky. All right, the next one is Smile for the Cameras by Miranda Smith. This one just screams like scary movie slasher films to me, so I'm very excited to read this one. It says an actress desperate to reclaim her fame must survive the real-life plot of a horror film that made her famous in the psychological, twisted, locked room thriller influenced by 90s slasher films. Spooky! 20 years ago, Ella Winters was the it girl. She made a name for herself in Hollywood and throughout America as the final survival of a cult classic slasher grad night. But the real horror is what happened when the cameras weren't rolling. Something terrible that Ella and her co-stars agreed to never speak about again. Shortly after the movie's premiere, Ella disappeared from the acting scene under the pretense of caring for her ailing mother, hoping for a quiet life out of the spotlight to ease her guilty mind. Now, as her mother's passing, Ella has decided to return to the silver screen. And with the cast and crew of Grad Night in the process of filming a reunion documentary, Ella has the perfect ticket back to Hollywood's good graces. Weighed down by the secret she's been keeping all these years, Ella apprehensively makes the trip to the original set, a cabin in rural Tennessee, to reunite with the castmates for the first time in over a decade. But when the actors begin to meet the exact gruesome fates of the characters they originally played, falling victims to someone dressed as the Grad Night villain, it's clear their secret is out. Now the question, can the final girl survive one last nightmare? It's giving Scream. I'm obsessed. I'm really, really excited for this one. Plus with it being like in the cabin, oh, it's gonna be so good. All right, the next one, I'm very excited. It comes out, I think, shortly after my birthday. Let me just double check. I have not read the synopsis. I just know it's an auto buy. Yeah, it comes out 2 days after my birthday. So it's called The Intruder by Freida McFadden. Are we at all surprised? Your girl loves Freida. Haven't even read the synopsis, but I know I'm going to read it. Who knows what the storm will blow in? Casey's cabin in the wilderness is not built for a hurricane. Her roof shakes, the light flickers, and the tree outside the front door is always ominously in the wind. But she's a lot more worried about the girl she discovers lurking outside her kitchen window. She's young, she's alone, and she's covered in blood. The girl won't explain where she came from or loosen her grip on the knife in her right hand. And when Casey makes a disturbing discovery in the middle of the night, things take a turn for the worse. The girl has a dark secret, one she'll kill to keep. And if Casey gets too close to the truth, she may not live to see the morning. So that's all I really need to know. I feel like that was a great summary of what this book is without giving too much away. So I'm excited. Okay, the next one I'm very scared to read. Not because of the spooky content, but I haven't had the best recent luck with this author, and it is Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. She's kind of like a cozy horror author, I feel like is the best way to describe it. This one comes out on September 9th, 2025. And I've read several of her books. Her last one, So Thirsty, was a kind of a big disappointment for me, but I really enjoy Cackle by her. And I definitely want to read another book by her. It's the werewolf one, Such Sharp Teeth. I definitely want to read that one this spooky season too. But this one's coming out. It's a newer one. I don't know. I also don't know what this book is about. I just know I want to read it because I love the cover. Cleo leads a picture-perfect life as a stylist and influencer, but underneath the glossy veneer, she harbors a not-so-glamorous secret. She grew up in a haunted house. Well, not haunted, possessed. After Cleo's parents' messy divorce, her mother Alex moved Cleo and her sisters to a house occupied by a demon, or so Alex claimed. And that's not what Cleo's sister remembered, or what the counts determined when they stripped Alex of custody after she went off the deep end. But Alex was insistent. She even wrote a book about her experience in the house. This sounds a lot like Hope Before Dark in a way. After Alex's sudden death, the supposedly haunted, possessed house passes to Cleo and her sisters. Where her sisters see childhood trauma, Cleo sees an opportunity for house flipping content. Only as the home makeover process begins, Cleo discovers there might be some truth to her mother's claims. As memories resurface and Cleo finally reads her mother's book, the presence of the house becomes more real and more sinister, revealing ugly truths that threaten to shake Cleo's beautiful life to its very foundation. So it's definitely giving me Home Before Dark vibes. And I'm actually kind of excited. So hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully. The next book I have, this one isn't technically spooky, but I definitely wanted to include it because it just came out. It's also one of my auto buy authors. It's Samantha Downing's Too Old for This. Very excited. I got my copy from Aardvark Book Club. This one is very different, but I mean, it's about serial killers, so that's spooky, right? Older, wiser, deadlier. A retired serial killer's quiet life is upended by an unexpected visitor. To protect her secret, there's only one option left. What's another murder? Lottie Jones thought her crimes were behind her. Decades earlier, she changed her identity and tucked herself away in a small town. Her most exciting nights are spent at a weekly bingo games at the local church and gossiping with her friends. When investigative journalist Plum Dixon shows up on her doorstep asking questions about Lottie's past, and specifically her involvement with numerous unsolved cases, well, Lottie just can't have that. But getting away with murder is hard enough when you're young, and when Lottie receives another annoying knock on the door, she realizes this crime just might be the death of her. So it sounds so good. Also, this cover screams spooky season. Okay, and then the last book I want to talk about is Night Watcher by Daphne Wollstonecraft, I believe is how you say it. Apparently she's the host of Going West, a true crime podcast, so very interesting. But this one also screams spooky season. It's kind of like, it's not a graveyard, but it's giving graveyard vibes, if you know what I mean. So I have the audiobook for this one too as well. Thank you to Libro FM. Let's see. Nola Strait is being watched. Again, after an encounter with a notorious serial killer in the Pacific Northwest as a child, Nola has grown up and tried her best to forget the traumatizing night from the hiding man. She installed security cameras outside her Oregon home, never spoke of her experience, and now hosts Night Watch, a popular radio call-in show her semi-famous father used to run. When coincidences lead Nola to believe that she is being stalked and a caller on Night Watch has a live incident with an intruder in the caller's home, the description of whom she is slightly familiar. Nola is convinced that the killer has resurfaced and is coming for her. With mysterious next-door neighbor lurking in the shadows, more people are getting hurt, and the police not taking her concerns seriously, the evidence pointing towards her own father, Nola decides to become, like her listeners, a night watcher herself and uncover the monster behind the hiding man's mask. Creepy. I love well, I shouldn't say that. I love stalker stories as well, and this is probably like one of my biggest fears, is like that like someone's inside your home type of deal. So I'm very excited to read all of these books, but this one especially. Alright guys, that is my spooky season fall TBR. I definitely have other books I want to get to, some like romances, some like contemporary fiction, some sci-fi a little bit, but these are definitely the ones I feel like are screaming my name, and I'm just so excited. Some of them I will probably read in October for Halloween, definitely for Survive the Night Readathon, which is coming up, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to leave all that information, including the Readathon announcement video, down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it to the end of this video, leave some sort of like Halloween spooky emoji in the comment section. It could be like a ghost, it could be a vampire, bat. Leave like flood my comments with as many like emojis as you can. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a future video. It also helps my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling.